Hello and what is up, Face-Off fanatics? Welcome back once again. It's another fantastic day and another wonderful geektacular match here in the movie trivia Face-Off. Now, many people have said that there's the Elk. He's the greatest in the biz. He's amazing on the mic. He brings glory everywhere he goes. But today, I'm also bringing a little bit of hype. Joining me on the desk, that's right, it's the man, the myth, the legend, the hype man, the myth, the legend. That is my compatriot on the desk. Hey, hype man, Mike Shea, how you doing?
I'm great, man. I'm great. This is a lot of fun. Looking forward to this. It's weird to be on this side of it. It's really weird. When I heard you talking, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be answering questions. No, I'm asking questions today. Oh, okay.
That's right. He will be asking questions. We both will, of course. And we've got two fantastic competitors in today's match. We've got Thomas Scully. Everybody in the league knows what Thomas Scully can do in the ring. He's got knowledge on top of knowledge on top of knowledge, and he is a dangerous man to step in against. But then you've got his opponent coming in, Dave the Dragon Lees. Well, Dragon versus Warhawk, that is exciting. I remember Dave the Dragon Lees in his match against TJ the Terror Starman. That was a hell of a match by both competitors. And I got to say, I'm thinking today we're going to see a high-scoring game, Mike.
There is nothing more fitting in a geektacular match than a guy named the Warhawk and the guy named the Dragon answering questions about whether or not Warp wiped his butt in Star Trek IV, The Undiscovered Toilet.
It's absolutely true. I don't believe I saw that particular Star Trek movie. I'll have to look it on up. All right. I don't know if they're going to bite the heads off any chickens and make this a true geektacular spectacular. That's a little etymology joke for you fans out there. But I do know that both these competitors had a lot to say to each other. So let's see what they had to say with their pre-match interviews right now.
I guess I'm doing my promo now. Hi, I'm super excited to be back in Movie Trivia Face Off. It's been a while since I played against TJ, but I have been studying some stuff, and I hope that me and Thomas Scully, we have a great match. He's a great guy. 2-0, 2 TKOs. Hopefully, I can take him to the third round, no matter what everyone here says. Thomas is something to look out for, and today is not my day, but today's Saturday, and I like Saturdays. Let's go play.
Alrighty, I'm back. Movie Trivia Face Off. It's been about 6 months since I've been here in Geektacular. A lot of things have changed. Factions have been destroyed. Factions have been built. Super teams have been made. I don't really care about any of that. I'm just here to play, honestly. You know, I got Dave today. Great guy, great player. He KO'd the living snot out of his last opponent, so I'm not going to take him lightly. However, I do want this third win. I want to keep that perfect record, and I want to be at some sort of good standing going into World War Geek, where I'll attempt to become the first NTFO Geektacular champion. So yeah, you know, I'm ready, I'm pumped, I'm studied up. Let's do this.
All right. It looks like both competitors very, very excited today. And let's talk a little bit more about these guys. They are obviously very, very knowledgeable, but we want to give you a bigger breakdown than that. So why don't we go ahead to the hype man, and he can bring that up for you. Bring that hype, bring that joy as we look at the tale of the tape.
We have got two seriously strong guys playing in here today. Dave the Dragon Lees, he's 1-0, and that one is a KO. That's not something to mess around with. That first match, getting that knockout. He's got 80% in both round 1 and round number 2, and 100% on steals. And not only is that one a KO, it's a KO against TJ Starman, who's no slouch himself. But then you go into the number 4 slot with Thomas the Warhawk Scully. He's 2-0 with 2 KOs. So these guys are all about the knockouts when it comes to victory. He's 85% in round 1, 95% in round 2, and he too is 100% on steals. And not only did he get 2 knockouts, but he TKO'd Ruben a guy I had the fortune of taking out just a couple weeks ago, who is a fierce competitor in his own right. These guys have taken out some strong, powerful opponents in their brief time in the Geektacular division, and today is going to be one match for the books.
Well, that's absolutely impressive on both competitors' count. Mike, I got to say, when you look at numbers like that, you're coming in, you're 80%. 80%, 100%. And then you look across the room and that other guy comes in and he's got even higher numbers on his record than you do. It's got to be like that kid who stays after school and cleans the blackboards with the teacher. And then the real smart kid comes in and picks up their A+ test. I mean, you got to feel a little bit worried about a guy like Thomas Scully today.
Yeah, I never picked up any 100% A+ test myself. One thing I've never been 100% about is the fact that there's bourbon in this mug right now. But if there's one thing we're going to see today, we're going to see a high-scoring match. We're going to see insane amounts of accuracy. And I would not be surprised if this thing goes all the way to the final question. These guys are knockout players, but you take two knockout players together, neither one of them is going to go down without a fight.
Oh, that is absolutely true, Mike. And as we've got everything, it seems at the ready, you've got your bourbon. I've got my 12-year-old Auchentoshan, and we've got two guys coming on in who are ready to face off and go toe-to-toe, fight it out for that Geektacular win and improve their record here in the Geektacular division. I cannot wait to get going with these guys. How about you, Mike?
Oh, I'm so ready. The hype, as always, is real.
Yes, it is. And what else is real is the talent of our two competitors who are going to be entering the ring for you right now. As fans, we get ready to face off. Introducing first, making his way to the ring, he is Dave the Dragon Lees.
Woo! Let's burn it down.
All right, very excited, ready to go. I cannot wait. Thank you for joining us today, Dave. And his opponent, making his way to the ring, he is Thomas the Warhawk Scully.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, I am excellent as always, Thomas. I don't know about Dave. He might be a little trepidatious to face you. And Mike, well, he's been bringing the hype ever since he hit the desk. But the real question for both of you gentlemen, now that you are here, is Thomas the Warhawk Scully, are you ready to do this thing?
Let's do it.
And Dave the Dragon Lees, are you ready?
Are you ready?
I am ready.
So, good. And so am I.
Then let's get ready to face off. All right, your rules for round number one in the Geektacular League are each competitor will receive 10 questions from various Geektacular categories. Remember, they have expanded recently, folks. There are some new categories you may not be familiar with. As a fan of the Schmodown, competitors, be prepared for that. Each question in this round will be worth 1 point. There is no stealing in this round. Should you miss a question, there will be no penalty. Each of you, once asked a question, will be given 15 seconds to write the best attempt at an answer on your whiteboard and given 15 seconds approximately to answer. Once we ask you for your answer by name, please show your board and say your answer verbally. And we will determine at that time whether you are correct. Throughout the course of the match, each competitor will have 3 repeats, also known, as always, as the JT rules. You can use these if you need a little bit more time on a question, didn't quite hear it correctly. For any reason at all, you want to reset that clock and ask us to say it one more time, go ahead and use a repeat. You also have one challenge. Throughout the course of the match, you may challenge if you feel a question was answered incorrectly, written incorrectly by our question writers. We will review it, and we will make sure that everything is done correctly. Should your challenge be rewarded to you, you will keep your challenge, and the question will either be thrown out or the points awarded. And if, of course, it is overturned, you will lose your challenge for the remainder of the match. With the rules out of the way, 2 incredible competitors here in the Geektacular League, and I cannot say enough how excited, gentlemen, I am to see you two face off today and see one of you take the other one down in a real battle. With that, we're going to start off round number 1, and we'll throw it to the hype man for your very first question.
All right, gentlemen, your first question in round number 1 in the category of Star Trek. Which Star Trek movie features the Vulcan Lieutenant Valeris?
This is Star Trek Picard, episode 7, isn't it, Mike?
It's got to be at least episode 7, maybe 7.5. I don't know. I'm still stuck on the first season of Star Trek Data, which is actually a show about information, not the character known as Data.
Very interesting. And gentlemen, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pens down. And Mike, feel free to go to either competitor for their answer.
Oh, sorry. All right. Dave, what do we got?
First Contact.
And Thomas.
Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
That would be correct.
1 point on the board for Thomas. Early miss, obviously, for Dave, but no worries. 1 question in. That means you got 9 more to go. Question number 2, gentlemen, will come from another famous franchise. Middle Earth is your category. Middle Earth. In the Hobbit trilogy, who plays Legolas's father, Thranduil? Thranduil. That's a fun word. Thranduil.
Yeah, I had one of those in college. It it didn't go as well as I thought it would.
That's interesting. I thought that was the thing the doctor checked at the back of your throat, your Thranduil.
That's a good one.
5,
Funny.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens are down. We will go to Thomas. And Dave, the Dragon Lees.
Such a terrible joke, but it's Lee Pace.
It is Lee Pace. I made him laugh, so I don't care how bad they think the joke is. And that's 1 more point on the board for both competitors.
All right, guys, your third question in round number 1 is in the category of the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In Avengers Endgame, when Black Widow meets Barton, he tells her, quote, "Don't give me blank."
I think, yep, I definitely know the answer to this one, Hype Man. It's the address of another Supercuts.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't want that because he was rocking that. Let's go and say rocking, but that would be Mohawk thing. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Going to Dave.
Hope.
And going to Thomas.
Hope.
Hope is correct.
Can't do that. Wasp got snapped, so she's not available.
Absolutely no idea why Hawkeye dislikes the Wasp so much, but well done by both gentlemen. We will be coming in with your 4th question now in the category of mixed bag. And a simple query, we just need to know what actor plays Mad Mardigan in Willow?
Yeah, Mad Mardigan. You know, my mom had one of those. She had it crocheted for her, and she wears it whenever she gets cold outside.
Well, I have a lot of names in the league. Hardest working man, Big Bill, Cash Money Extraordinaire, and of course the Elk. But I don't know if my mother named me something starting with like Mad Mardigan. Just sounds like you're on a bad
Repeat
path.
the question. Repeat the question.
All right, that is a repeat the question on the board from Dave the Dragon Lees. Your question, mixed bag. What actor plays Mad Mardigan in Willow?
Oh, I mean,
Willow. It's a movie they've been trying to make a sequel to for a long time.
just punch my desk.
Good to know those kids from Buffy have more work coming their way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens are down. We will go to Thomas.
So Dr. Kilmer?
And Dave Lees, what do you got?
Val Kilmer.
Big points for both competitors on the board. Val Kilmer is the correct answer.
Nice pull.
I
Going
had-
to
A different Batman written down first.
yeah, George Clooney as Mad Mardigan would have been a very different movie with
That's what I had.
a lot more willow nipples. Your 5th question in round number 1 is in the category of DC. In The Dark Knight Rises, who leads Batman to Bane, causing Bane to break Batman's back? Don't go breaking my back.
I couldn't if I tried.
He didn't have to try very hard because he broke that thing like a toothpick.
You ever try breaking a toothpick? It's tough.
All right, in 5,
That is tough as Batman's back.
3,
Well,
2, 1. Pens down, gentlemen. We're going to go to Dave
the Princess of Genovia, Catwoman.
and Thomas.
I dig that reference, Dave. Selena Kyle / Catwoman.
We will accept that. Both competitors are correct.
They are correct, although their implications about the strength of Batman's back have not been verified. We will not accept any challenges on this, however. Gentlemen, let's go on to your sixth question. Both doing very well throughout this round. Halfway through, need to remind you, Thomas, at this moment, you are still perfect. Question 6 in the category of Marvel. In Daredevil, who kills Elektra's father?
Daredevil. You know, Charlie Cox was a great Daredevil in that movie. Oh, wait, no, that was Ben Affleck. Sorry. Man, got myself happy there for a second.
Didn't completely hate this film, but I do got to admit, not the greatest thing I've ever seen in cinemas.
Best thing about this movie is how much fun Michael Clark Duncan and Colin Farrell are having.
Absolutely. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thomas, what do you got?
Bullseye.
And Dave.
Bullseye, but the media thinks it's Daredevil because, the baton.
Gentlemen, hit a bullseye. 1 point on the board for each with a correct answer with bullseye.
And your seventh question in round number 1 is going to be in the category of the Wizarding World. In Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, who is Harry's date to the Yule Ball?
See, this is why movie trivia is the greatest sport in the whole wide world, Mike. Where else would a competitor have to know who a teenage boy's date to the ball was?
I know, seriously. I mean, this is one of those things. I've been rewatching Law and Order SVU, and this seems a little too familiar. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're going to go to Dave.
Pavardi?
And we're going to go to Thomas.
Parvati Patil.
We will accept both answers as correct.
Absolutely.
Thank God.
No answers for Padma Patil, her poor sister, and she didn't get treated too well in that film either.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, very well done so far. We've got a few questions left in the round. Question number 8 comes in the category of Star Wars. Nothing but Star Wars. In Return of the Jedi, who cuts the net in Endor to free Luke, Han, Chewie, C-3PO, and R2?
Way to go, Chewie. Always thinking with your stomach.
Got to talk to our question writers. I think they could have just said our heroes.
Well, everybody's a hero to somebody.
And everybody needs somebody sometimes. And our competitors have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No repeats. Pens are down to stay perfect into your 8th question. Thomas.
R2D2.
R2D2, correct. Dave, do you have it?
R2D2. And I'm wearing an R2 shirt.
You watch that language, sir. Kids are watching this.
Thanks, Captain America.
Well, spoilers for the next question.
All right, so we're going to go into your 9th question in round number 1, and that is in the category of the DCEU, or the Worlds of DC, or whatever they're calling it this week. In Man of Steel, what does the S on Superman's chest stand for?
And this, of course, stands for the amazing Mark Ellis to remind you that this is your penultimate question in round number 1.
Ha ha, ha ha, ha ha, ha.
No, I don't believe I said comedies.
Wait, where is it? There we go. It's the greatest thing I've ever purchased. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looking for answers from Dave.
How crazy is it that 2 of the answers in this round were hope?
Thomas.
An odd coincidence indeed. Hope.
That is correct for both players.
It stands for a river. I don't know.
All right, we are coming down to the final question. Round number 1 has gone exactly the way we thought it would. And gentlemen, as you currently stand, Thomas, you are 1 question away from a perfect round 1. If you get it, you will receive a bonus question asked only to you. Dave, doing very well, only 1 point behind. And now I will ask you a question about a mutant from the future who's actually the daughter of Scott Summers. Oh, no, wait, this answer doesn't have to come out. Hope. Here we go, boys. Question number 10, movie release dates. What year saw the release of Batman Returns?
Movie release dates.
See, there was this comic book event, No More Mutants, Hope Summer. It's not important.
Batman Returns, but does he also donate? That's the question.
No, the real question is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. For the perfect first round, Thomas.
1992.
And we'll see if his opponent has it. Dave.
1992.
1992 is correct. And with that, it's a perfect first round for Thomas the Warhawk Scully. Not too bad by Dave at 9 points, but that means you will be getting a bonus question. Thomas, you do not have to write it down, and the hype man will be asking your question.
All right. Your very super special top secret bonus question comes to you in the category of Indiana Jones. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, what type of trap does Indy foil that is referenced in the Grail Journal with the phrase, "Only the penitent man shall pass"?
I don't know how to put that.
You have to find a way to describe it in some way. And
Can you repeat the question, please?
of course I can. That is one repeat. In Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, what type of trap does Indy foil that is referenced in the Grail Journal with the phrase, "Only the penitent man shall pass"?
Okay, so it's where one saw comes from the side and another saw comes from the bottom, and he has to kneel and roll his way across.
Judges, I think we can accept that.
I think that is absolutely correct. But we have written down here wall blades or decapitation. I think that that is a fair answer. He obviously knows what he's talking about, and that means he's going to get that big bonus point, putting him up 2 points on his opponent going into that all-important wheel round. You want to come out of round one with a lead, and I said it before, it's like that kid who hangs out with the teacher after class. If you're Dave Lees right now, you got to stay focused, but you also got to feel a little bit like you just stepped in to a real dangerous situation. He's got a habit of doing that in his matches.
Absolutely. You could say that he is the penitent man in this particular match.
The penitent man, the penultimate question, and of course, an 11-9 first round is absolutely the way we want to see things going. I think round number two going to get even spicier because, of course, round number two, gentlemen, is the wheel round. Some people call it the wheel of fate, doom, or justice. I just call it, screw that thing. When it comes down on something I don't like,
I like
in this round, gentlemen.
As in, I hate that guy.
It's true. Sometimes people say it about me. They're obviously wrong. I'm obviously right. We know this, of course. Gentlemen, your round number two. The rules for round number two will be as follows. In round number two in the GEEKTACULAR division, each competitor will receive a spin at the category wheel. Once you have spun the wheel and it has landed on a slice, you may either keep the slice of your first spin, or if it lands on another slice that has already been taken, or you don't like that slice, you get one mulligan unless you land on opponent's choice and may spin again. Once you have selected and kept a category, or it has been selected and kept for you, you will receive 5 questions from your selected category. Each of these questions will initially be worth 2 points. If you do not know the answer from the question, you may ask for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 multiple choice options. The value of the question will drop to 1. Of course, steals are live in round number 2, my favorite part of round number 2. So if you miss a question, your opponent will be given the opportunity to steal at the current point value. At the current moment, the score is 11-9. Each competitor has 2 repeats and 1 challenge remaining. And Thomas, the Warhawk Scully, with that amazing first round, you are in the lead. Would you like to go first or defer to Dave Lees?
I will defer to my opponent.
He's deferring to his opponent. So
all right, we will get ready for his spin. Real quick, your categories on the wheel today: Indiana Jones, Star Trek, Star Wars, Wizarding World, Weapons, Tech, and Magical Objects, Middle Earth, Marvel, DC, DC Extended Universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe, and of course, spinners and opponent's choice. Take it away, Mike.
All right, David, it is your spin. When you're ready, spin that wheel.
Only my mother calls me David. Let's spin.
Yeah, about that, I got something I got to tell you, but we'll wait for that.
Mom? Looking for so long.
And
wow.
Oh.
tough.
Humanity.
Spin. What's going to happen here? He's playing so well, but he's already behind his opponent, and then he lands on opponent's choice, which means Scully has a decision to make once again.
Spinner's
He's got to look at
choice.
that wheel. He's got to think real hard. What does he think Dave the Dragon Lees is not going to get points in?
I'm going to go ahead and give him Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Throwing him under the bus into the 24th century. They still have buses, apparently.
He's giving him Star Trek like Dave's the world, and he's Gene Roddenberry. We'll have to see what happens. I don't know how strong Dave is going to be in this category, but definitely I think he has the ability to pull it out. Will we see some steals? Going to be real fun stuff.
Star Trek can be a little bit tricky because you have to remember that there are now multiple universes that take place in the films. Don't really get those confused. All right, Dave, we are going into the category of Star Trek. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Your very first question in round number 2 in the category of Star Trek. In Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, which Enterprise crew member forces a lieutenant manning a transporter into a closet at Phaser Point?
You ever held anyone at gunpoint, Mike?
Gunpoint, no. Pen point, yes. The pen is mightier than the sword, they say. And in 5, 4,
Multiple choice.
I can do that for you. Your multiple choices are A, Kirk, B, Bones, C, Uhura, D, Sulu.
Sulu.
That is incorrect. Sending it over to Thomas for the steal.
It's Uhura.
That is correct for a 1-point steal.
All right. He's picking up on that lead.
That'll take us into Dave's second question here in the category of Star Trek. Your second question, in Star Trek First Contact, what is the name of the ensign turned Borg who Picard kills with a Tommy gun?
I'm sorry. I don't know if it's my thing or your thing. In the middle of that question, you just broke up a little bit.
We'll give you a technical repeat.
All right.
Question number 2. In Star Trek First Contact, what is the name of the ensign turned Borg who Picard kills with a Tommy gun?
Oh, shit.
Not an easy category so far. Opponent's choice looking like it was well thought out by Thomas Scully.
Star Trek gets into some deep cut stuff, and we'll need an answer in 5.
Multiple choice.
I can do that for you. Is it A, Lynch, B, Hawk, C, Sumek, or D, King?
Let's go C.
That is incorrect. Sending it back over to Thomas for a potential steal.
It's Hawk.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for Ensign Lynch.
This was Ensign Lynch.
Ooh, yeah, I mixed it up there.
Ensign Hawk is the one who joins them on the spacewalk.
Yeah. I mixed them up.
All right. That'll take us into the question number 3. In Star Trek Beyond, what song is playing in Jayla's home when Scotty first asks, where is this music coming from?
Got a scores and soundtracks one now. I mean, gotta say that opponent's choice seems to be working out so well for him.
Who knew they still had Spotify in the world of Star Trek?
Multiple choice.
All right. Your choices are A, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, B, Big Papa, C, No Diggity, or D, Fight the Power. Whether it's correct or not, just the idea of having the song No Diggity in a Star Trek movie makes me so happy.
No doubt, baby.
Fight the power.
That is correct for 1 point going to
Public
Dave.
Enemy.
All righty. Here he is racking up some points, narrowing in, closing up that lead just a little bit. Going into question number 4. In Star Trek Into Darkness, While discussing opening the torpedoes with Spock and Kirk, Bones refers to a torpedo as a how many tons stick of dynamite? We're looking for the number of tons of stick of dynamite. Not to be confused with pounds of dynamite. Looking for tons of dynamite.
Well, pounds is one of those things that even some metric countries still hang on to pretty toughly.
An answer in
50 ton.
That is incorrect. We're going to send it over to Thomas now for the potential 2-point steal.
No multiple choice, 2 points on the board, but can he guess the magic number? He knows it's a number. He knows one that it's not, and it's just all the rest of the numbers in the world that he has to select from.
20 ton.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for 4 tons.
Wow. We're going to destroy the world, Thomas.
Way overshot it.
Way overshot. You guys are looking to cause some next level destruction.
Language.
Some super villain levels of destruction.
That's the future.
Fifth and final question in round number 2 for Dave in the category of Star Trek. In which Star Trek film will you hear the line, "I'm a doctor, not a doorstop"?
Oh my God. My dad says,
We accept, oh my God. I'm not sure God was ever a character in Star Trek.
well, Q.
And also, what does God need with a starship? I will remind you, but
I need an answer in 5, 4,
Repeat
3.
the question.
I can do that for you. In which Star Trek film will you hear the line, "I'm a doctor, not a doorstop"?
well used repeat. He's having a tough round 2 after opponent's choice. Obviously, not what he wanted, and buying a little more time. Maybe he can get it and separate that lead just a bit before Thomas takes over.
And we'll find out what happens here in 5,
I got to go for
4, 3.
it. First contact. No, that's not it.
That is correct.
Oh,
That is correct. Spoken by Robert Picardo as the emergency medical hologram. I am a doctor, not a doorstop. Just
And-
keep those bored from coming through that door.
Just like that. And just in a similar way, Dave himself, a bit of a doorstop here. He was able to stop Thomas from having a complete lead over him just yet, going into the second half of round number 2. Tied up 12-12.
if you want to hit bonus choice too, that'd be real cool, Thomas.
Certainly, that is something he must be looking for, but of course, it all comes down to the wheel of morality, fate, justice, doom, and all those other wonderful things. Why don't you go ahead, Thomas, and spin it? You're ready.
Spin. There we go.
Oh, it takes a second sometimes, but that old wheel, she eventually starts spinning, and when she comes down, she stops on a respin. That's Star Trek.
Oops.
And after hearing the questions from the category, I'm guessing he's probably glad he didn't get it himself.
No kidding. And that's going to take us into
MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, is your spin. Thomas, would you like to keep it, or would you like to spin again?
I'll keep it.
He is sticking in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So many movies, so many good memories, and we've all been watching these films for the last so many years. But of course, I'm going to keep showing up and sitting through the credits like a sucker just so Captain America can turn his chair around. Thomas, your questions are in the category of MCU. You have 5 questions coming your way. First question is, after destroying Ronan's troops, Ronan says they'll be back for Captain Marvel in the film Captain Marvel. What term does he initially use to describe her?
the fact that he called her this and not something completely different shows how much of a progressive feminist Ronan really is.
Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options, Thomas, are A, the soldier, B, the woman, C, the warrior, D, the weapon.
D.
D, the weapon, is correct for 1 point. Good use of multiple choice there and putting him into the lead. Still got 4 questions to go. Let's keep it going with question number 2. Thomas, what is the name of Tim Roth's character in The Incredible Hulk?
Emil Blonsky.
Doesn't even hesitate.
The ball goes in the air, and to Thomas, it's a bit of a softball. Ding, right out of the park. Question number 3. In Spider-Man Far From Home, which elemental do Maria Hill and Nick Fury initially encounter in Mexico? I have a feeling I know what the multiple choices will be should he opt for them.
I think it's a safe guess.
The Earth Elemental.
Not the wind or the fire elemental, the earth elemental, but he is definitely celebrating. Thomas Scully, 2 more points on the board. Question number 4 is going to be coming your way. Thomas, in what MCU film will you find the character of Jonathan Pangborn?
Doctor Strange.
He's not even giving us time to do witty banter. That is correct for 2 more points.
It is a crime, but we'll forgive him just this once as he's performing so spectacularly. Your 5th and final question in the realm of MCU. Thomas, in the opening credits scene of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Baby Groot stops to wave hello to which other member of the team?
Gamora. It's Gamora.
Gamora is her original name, but Gamora is...
I stuttered a little bit. I have a stuttering problem.
Just playing with you, Thomas. Obviously, I'm kidding. He knows the answer. Gamora is correct. 2 more big points on the board, which gives him an incredible round number 2. Very, very well done. And that opponent's choice, so rough for his opponent, Dave, which means we are going to be going into round number 3 with a real separation between these two. Anything can still happen, Mike, but what do you think we're going to see in round number 2 out of these guys?
Well, I'll tell you what, that opponent's choice is probably the worst thing that could have happened today, but props to him. He still managed to hung in there just enough to avoid a TKO here in round number 2. And now going into round number 3, we're seeing where Dave is going to have to hit all 3 of his questions in order to stay in the game. Or,
of course, Thomas will end up with that wonderful victory, that thing to hang on his trophy shelf, the TTKO, the triple TKO, 3 matches, 3 TKOs, would be a nice thing to have. But in order to get there first, we are going to have to take you through round number 3. It's your final round in this matchup. And in this round, the rules are as follows, gentlemen. Each competitor will select 3 numbers. Once you've selected your 3 numbers, gentlemen, you will each be given 3 questions corresponding to those numbered categories. Each of those will be a particular Geektacular category, and your questions will be worth in order in the number for the numbers you chose, worth 2, 3, and 5 points. You have 15 seconds to answer. You do not need your whiteboards. There is no stealing in this round. And as we come into round number 3, a reminder for you, gentlemen, Thomas, you have 2 repeats and your challenge remaining should you need them. And Dave, 1 repeat and your challenge still on the board. Mike, what's the word on those questions?
I've got 1 through 18 category.
1 through 18 it is. If it is category number 1 for any reason, you will be getting your questions from Mike, the hype man, Shay, of course. But Thomas, you are in a commanding lead. What numbers would you like for round number 3, should you need them?
8, 3, and 1.
8.
Someone wants me to ask a question, apparently.
You will absolutely probably not be asking that, but we never know what can happen. Remember, it is round number 3. We've seen players, even great players here and in the Schmodown, miss that 1, that 2, that 3, and that 5. Dave, however, you've got a lot of work ahead of you. What numbers would you like?
Let's go 4, 7. And what was the highest number you had?
18.
Let's go 11.
He asks for the highest number and does not select it. I kind of like that attitude, but what I would like to see more is some questions coming up and some answers coming down for Dave the Dragon Lees. I like him as a competitor, and I want to see this be an incredibly competitive match, but I would be lying to you, Dave, if I said that you didn't have a lot of work ahead of you. And since, just in case it happens, category number 1 will be read by Mike Shea, that means I will be reading Dave the Dragon Lees his questions for this round number 3. Dave, once again, 1 repeat, 1 challenge. Are you ready to go?
So ready.
All right. For your first question, you selected category 4. This is a category that I quite enjoy, the Wizarding World. And your 2-point question, who directed Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone?
Chris Columbus.
That is correct. 2 points on the board, exactly the way you want to get started. Now, all you got to do is keep that up as we continue forward with your round. Dave, question number 7 for 3 points. Doing well so far. Let's keep it up. Dave, question number 2 worth 3 points. You picked category number 7, and category number 7 is Middle Earth. In The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies, which member of Thorin's company is the first one to die? There's a prize you don't want.
Deep in thought.
5, 4,
Repeat the question.
3. That I can do, and that is your final repeat for 3 points. And to move on to your 5-point question, stay in this match. Your question is, in The Hobbit, the Battle of the Five Armies, which member of Thorin's company is the first one to die?
There's only 13 options.
And he'll need to pick one of them in 5.
Let's go with
4, 3. Feely is correct for 3 big points, stays alive, and goes to his 5 points for the chance to throw it back to his opponent, Thomas, and of course, to remove that KO on the record sheet for sure. Very, very well handled, showing what he can do when he's not given opponent's choice and some deep cut questions. But of course, it's your 5-pointer. Be prepared for a real deep cut question here.
How many hairs are on Dr. Strange?
No repeats remaining on the board for Dave. You will have 15 seconds in total once I finish asking this question. If you can get it, we go back to Thomas. Otherwise, Thomas will win via TKO. Your category, scores and soundtracks. Your question for 5 big points. What song plays through the first scene of Watchmen? To clarify, we are not looking for the music over the opening credits. We are looking for the music over the first scene of the film. I knew that could be potentially confusing. I think it's only fair that I say that out loud, and you now have 15 seconds.
A lot of great music in that movie.
I have a funny story about this answer, but I cannot say it out loud. We are coming down in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hallelujah, that's not right.
1.
Say a song in the movie.
And he's going to hate himself for not remembering Unforgettable. With that, Mike, you got the golden throw. Why don't you do it for me, buddy?
And your winner by way of technical knockout with a score of 21 points, Thomas the Warhawk.
What a matchup. Very impressive by Thomas all the way through. Look at that. He's over 20 points. Didn't even have to get into round number 3. But I got to tell you, I think if he doesn't get lucky with Dave spinning opponent's choice, give him that Star Trek category. And whew, that was a rough one in round number 2 today. I know that would have been hard for anybody to get, even a big Star Trek fan like myself. I think he's going to be a lot closer, but as is, luck is with him. The wheel is cooperating today, and he comes out of it with another KO on his sheet. That's right. Once again, I'm going to dub him Thomas TTKO Warhawk Scully. That's a triple TKO on his record, but nothing to sneeze at. 17 points on the board is not bad, especially saddled with a category that you don't like. I mean, hype man, what do you say after a match like that?
You know, Thomas is walking out of here with the TKO hat trick, but Dave, Dave did the best anybody could ever expect, given the hand he was dealt today, to spin a bonus choice right off the bat, going into round 2, to be handed a tough category, still able to pull some deep cuts, question answers out of that round, and to go all the way almost to the end in round number 3. It just shows that Dave is no slouch and that anybody can fall victim to the evil that is the wheel.
Well, Unforgettable was the song in Watchmen, and it's been an unforgettable matchup. But, of course, it's not all over yet, folks. We've got to hear what our competitors have to say about this match. So we're going to take it to our post-match interviews right now.
Thanks so much, you guys. We are here live from the executive home offices of Club Blood Nashville, and I'm here with today's unfortunate loser, Dragon Dave Lee. You drew kind of a short stick here today. You got saddled with Opponent's Choice, a tough category of Star Trek. You still managed to push it all the way to the 5-pointer, another tough category, scores and soundtracks. How you doing?
You know, despite getting TKO'd, I'm still happy with the way I played. 9 points in the first round is nothing to shake at, and I knew Undiscovered Country in that first round. I just second guessed myself, erased it, put First Contact. I'm still feeling good because Star Trek is something I consider somewhat of a strength of mine, just because of the amount I've studied it. Just, there's so many movies. There's so much minutia. You're going to get some questions that you just don't know. And, me and Thomas were both trying to apparently blow up all of Earth with 20 and 50 tons of TNT. But I'm still happy with the way we went. Again, scores and soundtracks in the last round is fine, but it's tough. But, I'm happy with the way I played, and I hope that this does not negatively reflect, or you know what? I hope it does negatively reflect on me and someone comes at me.
Well, I mean, you said it. 9 points in the first round. That's a higher average than most people. You did get not as many points in round 2, but you pushed it all the way. You hit your 2, your 3. I think today you just got stuck with having one of the, let's talk about it, consensus top 5 opponents. Let's be real. You're still probably top 10 in the world, and the next person that comes after you, well, they might just get bit by a dragon. What do you think?
Maybe not. This has been, I debuted last year, and then I took a little bit of a hiatus, because we were trying to catch up on the matches, but also just personally, I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of that stuff. This year, I'm looking to really get involved, and I hope that I can play again soon. I'm going to be in World War Geek, and hopefully I get a chance to redeem myself against Thomas. He's an amazing player, and I'm happy to have played him. But anyone who thinks that I'm a wounded bird right now, I compel you to come at me, because I will be ready.
Well,
let's just have fun.
Yeah, let's have fun. The challenge has been thrown down. Step up if you want it. Dragon Dave Lees, don't worry. Better luck next time, and we'll see you real soon. And we'll be right back with today's winner, Thomas Scully. And we are back with today's winner, Thomas Scully, looking like maybe the most dangerous man in Geek here at the moment. 21 points, no round 3. Tell me, are you the man to beat? Is Geek your division?
I don't want to be all arrogant and say like it's mine to lose or anything like that, because every time it says, oh, this is mine to lose, oh, I'm the favorite, they always get knocked down off their pedestal. I'm looking at you, League of Shadows, Shadow Facts, whatever the hell they're calling themselves now. But yeah, this TKO is kind of the story of my career here. My last match against Jay, he had a big pull in DC that avoided the knockout there. This time, Dave had a huge pull in Trek that avoided the knockout there. So that's just been the story of my career. But being able to just get out and play again and show what I know, I love that, and I love 3-0 is a nice record. But it's not gonna show as much in World War Geek, where everybody's sort of on the same level, and where everyone's playing for the exact same thing. So yeah.
Well, World War Geek is on the horizon. You've got probably better odds than anyone to score a top number. And assuming, let's say you don't win, for whatever miracle, let's say you don't win, what is next for you?
I can answer that question, everybody. It's me, Scully. You did it. You won. There was never any doubt. Let's be honest. For those who don't know, I'm Scully's team partner of the best fandom team, Mischief Manage, the team champions. Scully, hey, you doing good, buddy? You doing good?
I'm doing great, buddy. Third win, third TKO in this league. Same story, same outcome today.
Definitely. Hey, I want to talk to you about something. You know, Adelaide, Spence, you find them a little cringy sometimes. I think they're a little cringy. You're not wrong. But you know what? They're getting together a group. You know who else could be a little bit cringy sometimes, walking in, maybe not cringy, but you know who else would walk in, be like, hey, I want you to join the group? A man named Nicholas J. Fury. And then in the post-credit scene of, I shouldn't be talking geek references. That's what you're here for. I'm just saying we're putting together a group of extraordinary individuals, and you should join.
You know, when you and Adelaide were talking about that after your match, I just had one question to myself. When the hell are they going to ask me to join? I'm in, buddy. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Well. Things just keep getting more and more interesting here at the GEEKTACULAR. Well, bright future ahead of you, bright future behind you. You've got the hat trick, and we are going back to the announce team, maybe the new best announce team in the league. We'll see about that. Back to you, Elk and Mike.
All right. Wonderful post-match interviews from, of course, Alex the Gothfather Frost. Not going to say there's a new best announced team in the biz, but I will say that it's been my absolute pleasure to be here with you today, Mike, the hype man, Shay, and we have seen another dominating performance from Thomas Scully. I got to say, when I look at Thomas Scully now, all I'm going to think about, hit that music, Mike, is unforgettable. That's what you are. That's right, an unforgettable performance. And Thomas Scully got to be excited because he is right now. That's right, the numbers have been crunched. I've spoken to the GEEKTACULAR commissioner himself. He is the new #1 ranked contender in the GEEKTACULAR division. What do you think of that?
Oh, I got a lot of thoughts about that, actually. You know what? I'm done being nice right now. Let me talk about this. You know who was the #1 competitor in the GEEKTACULAR? It was this guy. I was #1. And then you know what strange thing happens? Suddenly I go #1, and we got to change the way we do the rankings because everybody realized, oh no, he's #1. And if we don't change the way we do it, he'll always be #1. So now I'm #3, apparently. How do I feel about that? Not great. There's a reason there's bourbon in this mug.
All right, he's got his bourbon at the ready, and he's been a fantastic partner here on the desk today. I want to remind you all, of course, about all the wonderful people here at the Movie Trivia Face-Off working hard and making sure that we put out a great product for you. All those names scrolling by on the bottom of your screen, your editors, your question writers, whoever put together that round 2 for Star Wars today, they are all doing their jobs and making sure that we have an exciting product for you, the Face-Off fanatics. You are my true #1s, all you fanatics out there. And, of course, I am the #1 in the league, Andrew the Elk Kelk. It's been a true pleasure, an amazing matchup, and man, am I pumped up for World War Geek. That's coming your way very soon, folks. Thomas Scully likely to get a high number and possibly the favorite to win the whole damn thing. Check out all of our content on the channel. Check out the Patreon for the Schmodown if you haven't already. You like our product, you're going to love the Schmodown. And folks, it's been amazing. But with that, I'm going to have to let you go. I'm sorry, deny you the elk for a little while longer, but I will see you all next time we face off.